Care Sandwich. Our special guest today is known as Big Marv, and he's going to come and talk to us about how you don't need more hustle. You just need better systems. And I'm all about systems too. So I'm excited to introduce you to my guest in a few seconds. But first, check out this video.
Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Everline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care.
Hello. Welcome to the virtual stage, Big Marv.
Hey there. Thanks for having me.
How's it going? So why do you go by Big Marv? Is it the big personality you got going on?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because a lot of people think it's because I'm fat. But it is because of when I enter a room, you're not going to forget I was there.
Love it.
I needed to create an avatar when I left the basement of Microsoft, and Big Marv was what I came up with.
Okay, so you have a really fun story, very interesting journey. You're super smart, very much about systems, and we're going to get into that in a second. But I want to invite you to tell us, what do you do for businesses and how did you get to where you are now? What's your story?
So what I do for businesses is we focus on scaling them with systems, introducing AI, getting rid of all those 5-minute tasks that everybody forgets about. It's probably the number one thing we automate is those little 5 to 10 minute tasks that you're like, I'm just going to do that manually. It only takes 5 minutes. But when you compound that to 20, 30 times a day, you're losing hours every week on these little 5-minute things that we could have a robot do. But we put our focus on, automation and AI is supplement for human interaction, not replacement. So we try to make our systems as human-like as possible. What got me into it was, as an engineer at Microsoft, I was building their big systems for their DoD clients and their enterprise clients. DoD is Department of Defense, for those that don't know, so our U.S. military. And I was helping them save millions of dollars, moving them from their local servers to the cloud. This is when O365 first came out. And I wanted to start helping small businesses. So I started doing it on the side. I helped a business start earning multi-six figures in like 2 months, built with the system that I built, and it radically changed their life, the way they were able to live, and like that impact sparked a fire in me. And so I was like, I want to see how many people I can do this for. I want to do this for as many people as humanly possible. So I left Microsoft and I took the leap and started doing it full time. We've been doing it for almost 9 years now, building these systems and scaling businesses.
I love it. And if you're a law firm owner and you're listening to this and you're needing some help connecting the dots here, if you've ever heard us talk about automating the responses that are sent to people that fill out a form on your website, this is what that touches. Automating the follow-up. So many law firms invest millions of dollars in marketing, but don't use automation to actually follow up and nurture the leads with text messages, emails. So Big Marv, help me help the law firm owners out there that are thinking to themselves, because, okay, true story. Okay. Like I get so frustrated because I get so passionate about these law firms when I see these opportunities, because you and I speak the same language, right? And it's like so obvious, right? Like, yes, it just takes a second to enter data. No, like automate it, right? So help me help the law firm owners. True story. This is what I've seen time and time again. Law firm owner says, oh, well, I have an admin that does X, Y, and Z, and it's working fine, right? Usually it's when they're in the referral phase, meaning most of their business comes from referrals. So, somebody might leave a voicemail, they can just call them later, because they were referred by their cousin who they trust. And then they come to Marketing Boss or to an agency and they're like, all right, I'm ready to play with the big dogs. Like, I want billboards, I want TV ads, I want radio ads, I want all the things, I want Google ads, and I want marketing to bring in a whole new pipeline of leads. And then what happens is, oh my gosh, I'm investing all this money and I'm not signing up cases, I'm not making sales, right? And so then we come in and we talk about automation, and then we revisit oh, well, I don't need that. What would you say to a law firm? The scenario that I just described. And I know you work on so many verticals, specifically from what you know about law firms, because I know you have experience in that vertical.
Well, I'd say regardless of vertical, but especially, law firms, these ones that require an intimate touch, like you'd be surprised at how many businesses were able to double and triple revenue from the low hanging fruit of a database reactivation, right? Which is all these leads that they've had sitting there that no one's talked to in weeks or months, right? I often tell people, you don't need more leads, you need better systems,
Yeah.
right? Because they're doing all this marketing, they're getting leads coming in, and then they'll call the lead once, they don't make a deal, or maybe they call 2 or 3 times and they can't get them on the phone, or they don't make a deal, and then they're like, all right, well, if the marketing's bringing me new leads in, screw it, let's just keep rolling, right? And there's
Mm-hmm.
no nurturing sequences there. I guess people buy people, they don't buy products and services, right? They have to know, like, and trust you to move forward with you. And so if without the follow-up, and trends show, like, it used to be you need 21 touch points to get somebody to know, like, and trust you and move forward.
It used to be three.
Now,
It used to be three. Then it
yeah,
was five. Then it was 10. Then it was 20. And you're like, now it's how many?
now it's like 70 something touch
Oh my
points.
God. Like,
Right. So they have to see your ads, they have to see your posts, they have to see your comments, they have to see your emails. Like, and it's because of the day and age that we live in with the doom scrolling and everything else. So you have to stay on top of mind for these people to convert. And so I'll give you an example, because it's you're killing two birds with one stone. One, you're staying top of mind, but two, you're getting time back for your team. Right. So we had a team, we automated their follow-up, right? Because they were
mhm.
using spreadsheets and they were manually tracking. I need to text this person, call this person, life gets busy, they forget, they slip through the cracks, right? They had 10 sales reps, we automated it. Through automating it, every single sales rep got over 15 hours a week back, right? Now, what happens if you give your sales team 15 hours a week back and you have 10 people, right? How that's over 100 compounded hours. They went from 3 million to 10 million in 40 days. And,
So big,
and so
so big
just
Marvin.
automating that one piece.
So here's something that I also see at law firms, and I'm gonna stick with the theme of teams. Law firm, Acme Law Firm, gets excited, hires you to build out automation, right? And you got them covered. You build the things. What do you say to Acme Law Firm when they tell you, you know what, Big Marv, you built this thing, but it's really not working? And then you take a closer look, and it's because no one in the office is actually using this, or it's not being implemented. And then Acme Law Firm tells you, oh well, it's too difficult. What advice would you give Acme Law Firm's owner?
I would say that we need to come up with SOPs that every single person follows, and we need to modify it to make it intuitive. We need to make it less difficult, right? And sometimes it's just a learning curve, and that's when we're like, okay, let's roll up our sleeves, let's all jump on a call, I'm going to walk you guys through it and make everybody do this task until everybody's got it. And this is pretty common when you're implementing a new system, especially if it's somebody that goes from post-it notes to holy hell, I got a big system now, right? So yeah, there's sometimes there's pushback on the team because we've been doing it this way for 10 years, and if it ain't broke, don't fix
Yes.
it, right? And so, but those are the people that their competitors are going to crush them because their competitors are adopting to new systems. So the best software, the best system is the one that you're going to use, right? And that's why in their mind they're like, well, the best system is the one we've been using for 15 years because it works, at least in their mind. And so typically it's when people aren't using it, it's because incorrect expectations were made, and there's a learning curve, and nobody's prepared them for like this is our ideal scenario, and nobody stayed on top of it, right? Like most relationships fall apart due to failed communication and missed expectations. So as long as you over communicate, you set the expectations and literally hold the damn hand and walk them through it, you can typically get a team to adopt.
Yeah, and I find that the saying that we rise or fall to the level of the abilities of those closest to us. And
Hmm.
I'm really big on encouraging law firm owners to encourage their teams to innovate, to adapt, to learn new things, and to be open to different, better, more efficient ways of doing things. And I see this a lot in the legal space. I've worked in other verticals too. But I see it more in the legal space where it's almost this assumption that the old school is, or the comfortable or the non-techie, it's just, oh, it's legal, we don't need to, do it that way. Like, but to your point, when you started talking about what you do and how you help businesses, AI is taking over many different spaces in multiple businesses. So AI in legal, as far as case management, is a thing now. And in the
Hmm.
marketing space, it's also making a big impact, with automation. So walk us through, what is some advice that you can share with law firm owners when it comes to AI in what the systems that you build?
So again, you use AI to supplement the human, right? So
Mhm.
if you have like calls coming in, and maybe you're paying a receptionist or something, you can have a voice AI who's going to know a lot more than your receptionist, that's trained specifically on your brand, take those calls, do automated follow up, and then basically you have human failover for when the AI fails because it will inevitably fail. And
Mhm.
then so it relieves your human to do more things and get in touch. You can have AI assistants when your clients call your office. So instead of billing them $1,000 an hour or whatever you bill them for consultations, they can talk to your AI and get help. You can have AI follow up with them. You can have AI wish them a happy birthday. You can have AI remind them of certain anniversaries that are coming up. You can have AI do so many things. Again, it's going to be unique to some, but when we look at a business, we look at what are all the things the humans are doing, and where can we plug in a robot to basically be the right hand to that human. Right.
Yeah.
So it frees the human up to do the little things that we don't want AI to do. So it cuts costs on overhead, it saves time, and it provides a better user experience to your clients. Because I can promise you, the younger law firms that are out there with the new young guns are using this technology and they're implementing it, and they're delivering a better user experience, and they're going to leave you behind if you don't adopt it.
Yeah, and what you just described can look like, your Acme Law, and you run your ads, and somebody calls. So an AI agent can say something like, hi, I'm, Margarita, like Acme Law's AI agent. How can I help you today? And then that person's going to say, I need help with blah, blah, blah. And then maybe the AI agent will ask, are you a new or existing client? Boom, it can get routed to a human after that. Like,
Yeah.
but it at least saved you a little bit of time, because here's something that happens with law firms, where sometimes there's an influx of calls during certain hours. Like we see this for crim, right? Friday nights and weekends is like there's an uptick, right? So the phone lines might get tied up. You only have one or two humans maybe at that time available or on call. You can have the AI agents semi just route, like at the surface level, 10 calls, 20 calls at the same time, and
Yeah.
nothing's getting tied up.
And they
So
don't get
that's
tired.
like,
They don't take days off. Like they don't need vacations. They're running 24/7. And like speaking of the tied up lines, right? Let's say you're a personal injury attorney, right? Now, I imagine you also get phone calls about like, I want to sue my uncle because he owes me $20,000. I'm getting a divorce, or I need help with this custody case. You're getting calls about things that you don't even take on. But and so now you got to get a human that says, okay, who's our friend over there that works on these type of cases? I want to make an introduction. Well, now you can train an AI on exactly what you do, how you serve people, how you help them, have a referral database built into your AI system so they can talk to them. They can even tell them, about their case, what they've seen, and say, let me introduce you to a colleague. Their name is this. Did you get that? Awesome. And then you have all those notes put automatically into your back end system so you can see AI took this call. This is what they talked about. This is who they referred to. Then you can call your colleague and say, hey, my bot just sent somebody over to you. Did you get the case?
amazing. If you're listening and you're like, okay, I want that. How can people get in touch with you to get this going?
You can head over to dualfunnelsystem.com, book a time on my calendar. We'll chat, see, what kind of systems you have in place, what kind of systems you want built, and go from there.
So there you have it, guys. You can have Big Marv with all of his brain power give you the simple solutions that you need to cut your labor costs and reallocate some of that time that you're investing in people to actually do activities that count. So imagine Acme Law, you have the AI agent routing your calls. So now your receptionist has time to drive across town and bring a box of donuts to your best referral partner rather than sitting in the office fielding all those calls. So that's an example. This is doable. Go ahead and get in touch. Okay, Big Marv, I have one more question for you, and then we got to wrap this up because I could talk to you all day about automation. What is your favorite sandwich? And this is a no judgment zone. Okay, so whatever you like.
Well, I would have to say, so I'm a meatitarian. So I'd have to say fresh toasted sourdough with roast beef, pepperoni, and provolone with a little bit of Miracle Whip and mustard and pickles, extra pickles.
Miracle Whip instead of like actual mayo. You like Miracle Whip? Okay, I said
Miracle
no judgment.
100%. You said no judgment. Now, there are some places where I'll eat the mayonnaise, but I just don't like, Hellman's out the jar. But some places they make like nice garlic, or they mix other things in with it, and so I just don't like the super eggy taste of mayonnaise.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. I like it if you like it. So, folks, get a hold of Big Marv and his team. Get some automation going and scale up. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Care Sandwich. I know I did. And Big Marv, I will see you backstage. We'll continue the conversation.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep